Welcome, everybody, to the Jobber Knocker podcast. As always, it's Nestlemania. Alongside for the ride is not JC. I repeat, not JC. He's in a pool somewhere at Vegas, apparently, doing his thing. But we have a suitable replacement here, someone that I might say is my nemesis. I'd like to think is a sparring partner. We'll find out by the end of this if this is something I'm going to regret. None other than the Backcrackah. The doc is in the house, folks.
I get it. I get why JC is on vacation every other fucking week. 30 seconds with you, and I already want to go in Vegas and join them and risk getting the clap. Holy smokes. How's it going?
That was good. So clap aside, we are going to talk wrestling and venereal diseases anyway. So we'll see. But we're gonna talk about at least Raw and SmackDown. We'll sprinkle in some other thoughts here and there. But I'm curious. We always start in the shine. We start with the good. Backcrackah, I'm curious what you thought was the best part of your wrestling week so far.
So so typically, as I told you before, most of my wrestling comes from you guys. Listen to you guys, week in and week out. It's you have kids. It's hard to get all this wrestling in, but after watching SmackDown, after watching Raw, there was very little that I actually disliked, which is a huge departure from where I think WWE has been for the past couple of years. I mean, the last few pay-per-views have been absolute fucking bangers, and I thought SmackDown was just about all shine, and most of Raw was shine as well. I mean, there was a lot to like there this week.
Yeah, I'll start off very quick off the top. I think that it's going to be fun, and it's going to be a good time, because Raw, to me, was super awesome wrestling, right? There were a couple of matches I want to point out specifically that I thought on Raw were absolutely fan-fucking-tastic. And before I get into this, I already knew this was going to happen. So here he is. He's watching somehow. JC probably watching somehow, hoping that we don't screw this up somehow. Anyway, so we start off. I want to definitely put honors on the table here for certain particular things. The Miz and Ciampa
today, Junior.
Thank you. So the Miz and Ciampa versus Cedric Alexander and, of course, Ali. I love these guys. I just love that the tag team division seems to be building again. It seems like it's been kind of the Usos and the Street Profits for like 6 years.
Yeah.
It feels like that forever. And I was excited to see Ciampa and the Miz, even though they got matching pendants. I thought that was hilarious. But I love the idea of Ali and Ali and Cedric together. I think that's great because they weren't really doing anything anyway. It was like this hot and cold thing with Ali. But I'm curious how you feel. Are you a big tag team guy? I've never really asked you about that.
I am. I love it. And I thought, and that was one of the big takeaways I took away from Raw as well this week, is that it seemed like every other match was a tag match. I know it wasn't, but that's kind of what it felt like, because you got the women's tag tourney going on, which has been fantastic. And this match in particular, I really enjoyed because it was action. Like you said, they've, I think what Triple H has done really well over the past several weeks, as he's emphasized great storytelling, but he's also really emphasized great in-ring performance, and these four killed it. Now, I'm not a huge fan of Ciampa and Miz together. Because Ciampa, to me, he, like, seeing him in the bright neon ring gear, it's not my favorite. It doesn't feel like it fits him. They work well together. They wrestle. They're all four of these wrestlers were excellent, and I thought they killed it in the ring. I just got the feeling, like, with the pendant, the way that Ciampa wasn't like over the top about it. Like, I feel there's a turn coming here, right? I think you kind of alluded to this last week. But like something's going to happen here, and it's going to be epic. I just not loving, Ciampa and the bright colored ring gear. It just doesn't resonate with me.
I honestly, I couldn't disagree more, only because
Of course.
because to me, Ciampa, here's the thing. Ciampa's great, but there's always a but for me. Like, he's great, but he needed to learn more. And to me, he's going to learn a lot being with The Miz. He's going to end up being more of a well-rounded person being with The Miz, because The Miz will also learn from Ciampa, because Ciampa is amazing in the ring, right? So we know that's going to happen. So I think together they're going to help each other. Like, that's the thing I look at. And I'm not a huge fan of Ciampa. I'm not a huge fan. Like, I appreciate what he does. I'm a little close to chess because I'm from, the New England wrestling scene. So I've heard different things about him. I'm good and bad, but like, you can't stop and just say this guy, I'm respecting the guy. He's awesome in the ring. I'm not a big fan of Johnny Gargano either. Our boy TJ is like, might as well drink his bathwater. I don't understand it, but again, a guy I can appreciate, not for me. So it's hard for me to watch Ciampa and be like, well, this is fucking great. But they've done an amazing job of making him meaningful. And I think that's what everybody can appreciate, right? You don't have to like him. You don't have to hate him. You can appreciate that he's good. And that double, like right off the top, he does a giant move, hits him with that running knee at the end, gets him in I think it was the fairy tale ending, and won the match for his team, which again was a big fucking deal. Big fucking deal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like I was saying, like, I like this iteration of Ciampa. Like, I know it's clearly an aesthetics thing, but I think you're right in the fact that these two together, it's going to set up some great storytelling, because there is going to be a split here, because there's always a split with The Miz, right? He goes through partners, and the ego of The Miz just can't take it when someone else comes along and either outshines them or is equal or anything like that. So like the way this is going to build, and I think I don't know if it was you or JC who alluded to it last week or the week before, like, Gargano's eventually going to come around because he's still hanging out there like a giant matzo ball. Like, that's going to be big, right? And that's going to be a big pop. And we are seeing that with Triple H. He's not just bringing these guys back, but the people that are on the roster that have been kind of buried, he's now bringing to the forefront. And we're seeing that here with Ciampa.
Yeah, absolutely. Quick shout out. I want to give a quick shout out to my boy, Aaron O. What up, Nestle? Been a minute since I've been on live. Raw SmackDown has improved since the game. I'm not jerking him off just yet. I just love my boy, Aaron. So I want to give him a special shout out. And of course, because he's fucking in Vegas, he's got all sorts of comments. Nestle must love Doc's glow in the dark dildo mic. I actually am mesmerized by it. I can't stop looking at it. It's kind of all over the place.
I want to point something out too. You ready for this? See the space here between my head and the headphones?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Right? That's like an appropriate amount of space. I could fit I could probably fit about 3 JBCs between each one of those, spaces there in your headphones.
Okay, I'll squeeze my head real tight here. Is that better for you?
Well, you need that Barry Bonds diet. Get that head, getting all swole.
I need to get some HGH to get my head bigger. It's what look like a fucking bobblehead. Thanks. If they start selling Nestle bobbleheads, everybody will buy one and put them on the fucking dashboard. You know it. You fucking know it. But anyway, back to other matches on Raw that, again, I thought were great. I am not a big fan of the Mac. The Mac and KO come out, have a great fucking match.
Oh.
They talk about stuff like this where obviously we all get a fucking chubby when they're like, we're not sports entertainers. We could be wrestlers. We could be superstars. Let's just wrestle, goddammit. Of course, everybody's excited about that. And then they have this, which I think a pay-per-view quality matchup.
Oh, hands down.
And then they kind of, they fucking take it away from you. They take the right out from underneath your feet. And of course, the Usos have to get involved. But if this is any indication of what the Mac is capable of going forward with the Roman Reigns stuff, I'm happy. Like, this was three years of me shitting on the Mac for a while, but goddamn, the both of them have that promo. Like Aaron just said, the promo here, great promo from both of them. Like, I agree. I 100% agree. But the other thing I think of is that the back and forth with these guys. And if you look very closely, and this is how I judge whether or not it's a good match. It doesn't matter if it's like technically or whatever, 5 stars or 8 stars, whatever you're jerking off in your mother's basement. What I love is when you look at the crowd. Like, and there were instances when I watched this match, and of course, Theory and Ziggler, where the crowd was on their feet, right? And when I look at that, I go, okay, doesn't matter what I think, that's a good fucking match, because that's what people love, because you're forgetting that your fucking cell phone's there. You're probably getting upset that your fucking girlfriend hasn't tweeted you back or whatever. Fucking, you haven't gotten the popcorn or drunk or whatever. You're invested in the match. And that's when wrestling's at its best.
Yeah, I thought between SmackDown and Raw, this is maybe the most charismatic I've ever seen McIntyre. And COVID did him dirty, right? Because he had that title reign, that run, and it was in front of nobody, right? So that's like an impossible task to ask anyone to like shine or look good through that. That's just basically you just ripping through the scripts until you get back, and then they can change things up. So the thing on SmackDown was great, but specifically with Raw, him and Owens again. We haven't seen this Owens in a while either, right? And just face to face, staring each other down, and you talk about it all the time with storytelling, right? Like you want great storytelling in the ring as well as great wrestling. And for me, what I've always loved about wrestling is like you feel like there was a moment where I thought that KO was legit gonna win this match because there's no way in hell they're gonna make Mac look that week going into his match with Reigns, right? Yeah, exactly. And so the other thing they've done though too, right, is that they I thought they accomplished a couple things here, right? So Owens comes out, he looks dominant. He gets the stunner on Mac, but like Mac went toe to toe with him. If it wasn't for the Usos, right? So now you've made Owens look strong, but you haven't really weakened McIntyre because then he came out and floored the Usos afterwards. And I'm starting to get that feeling like McIntyre's got a legit chance to win this thing. I know he won't, but you've got that feeling, that he might. And if he does win it, that will blow that fucking pay-per-view, out of the water.
I gotta say, and this is another thing that like blew my mind about this entire thing was I'm not a McIntyre fan, but if they don't let McIntyre win in the UK,
yeah,
I think it's a miss because the literal stadium will shake because it's like it's a tidal wave, right? Like he's held that championship. Roman Reigns has held that championship over
way too long.
Right, 100 days. And like our boy JC says, hey, like he's the tribal cuck. He's holding both of them hostage, both championships. And it's just like, we're all ready. Like, no matter how much you like Roman Reigns or you don't like him, we're all ready for this to end, right? We want to see where the rest of this goes. We want to see Cody win. We want to see Seth win. KO. There's, Mac, maybe Theory. There's so many people we want to see championships around the waist or over their shoulder. So when it happens, it's got to be an eruption. And I just think that having McIntyre win, I'm not a Mac guy, but this is his moment. Like, this needs to be a definitive this happens moment. And then I want Theory to cash in right away. Like that's what I want. Because I think having Theory get thrown out and, having that Montreal, like HBK feeling every time they go out of the fucking States to me for the rest of his career.
Yeah.
Fucking wonders. Absolute fucking wonders.
And I mean, that's the thing too, is WWE is always trying to grow. Right. And so what better way to this would like absolutely catapult things. Like I said, like, I've never been a big Mac guy either, but the more I've watched between SmackDown and Raw and just that alone leading into this, like he's shown me more than he has since he's come back, really. He's not just some big, tall, wet-haired dude with a sword now. Like he actually, exuded like raw emotion and he went toe to toe with Kevin Owens, who's one of the best at doing that. And so like, again, there's this feeling it could happen. I don't fucking think it will. It better. You're right, but
it's not. No.
Yeah.
I gotta stop you because apparently we've been hacked.
Oh yeah.
Oh
baby.
What's up, boys?
Where the hell are you?
I'm currently in the pool, as you can see here. It's about 9 a.m. here, so I figured why not have a pina colada.
Yeah,
he shaved his fucking face.
He did. Have you avoided the clap yet?
Have I what?
Avoided the clap.
I don't know.
I've heard you guys had a busy couple nights,
Hey, you know what? Well, last night was actually pretty mellow. Today's the big day. We got Top Golf in a bit. We're going to Silk Sonic tonight, see a little Bruno,
Just remember, the ladies love them chicken fingers.
How dare you? How dare you? That drink probably cost him some money.
I don't want to tell you what this stuff costs here.
Tell that kid
Those
to
are your
shut up.
kids in the background,
Tell that kid to shut up.
I know, right? You want me to have them talk? They might be more entertaining.
No. I can't believe you're in a pool right now. Electrical equipment aside, I can't believe you're in a fucking pool right now.
Hey, it's beautiful here. It's only like 85 right now. It's going to be 100, but it's kind of cool right now, but it's nice.
The only guy in Vegas without a tan.
Hey, that's not true, but you should have seen a guy yesterday. He was putting on like purple sunscreen. It was a sight, but I heard you talking about McIntyre, guys.
Yes,
You
we
know
talked
what?
about.
I didn't watch Raw, but I went on Twitter. I watched his little exchange with him and KO, and you know what? That's the best Drew McIntyre's ever looked.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Hands down. Hands down.
I can't believe we're having a podcast with you in a fucking pool. Like
Oh, yeah.
I can't fucking believe this is happening. I
Hey,
really
I'm just
can't.
glad my connection's good, you know?
Yeah. JC's going tits out for the boys.
Are they on camera? I can't really tell because
How
hard to
buoyant,
see.
how buoyant they are, by the way, for crying out loud.
I'm excited to see you guys. What can I
He's
say?
slicked
You're
up like a
excited.
porpoise.
Thank God I have a fucking lower third over you, so it's just your head. But
Yeah,
I
that
could
is
show
true.
him.
That's
I could show him off if you really want to. But anyway,
Yeah,
do you, before I kick you off, because this is the doc's day, not yours. Do you have anything else you want to add? I think you mentioned something to me.
yeah. The main reason I had to get on is because Nestlemania.
Yeah.
We're gonna go to SmackDown now. I'm taking
Okay.
over, by the way.
Okay.
Hit row, hit row. I wonder what people are thinking of me right now, but hey, you know how hyped I was for that? Especially when, the world tried to tell us there was going to be no BFAB. Hey, Nestlemania, who came out on SmackDown?
BFAB.
Oh, yeah. Be fabulous. You know what? I love Hit Row. I'm thrilled they're back. The OG3, as they're calling themselves, because they were the original group. So I am. Oh, wow. You're trying to show them off, huh?
Yep.
I am
Shake 'em,
pumped.
baby.
I am pumped.
Shake
Doc, what do you
'em.
think of Hit Row? You seem like a Hit Row guy, Doc.
I popped when they came back, but the end of that was so fucking cringe when they were reintroducing themselves. And Stevie's own Billy Delaney.
Oh, hey.
It's probably his kids in the background screaming.
I would just like to reiterate that unless you have some type of weird massage train happening, this is a little bit weird. Just FYI.
Hey,
They're doing the
Yeah, I
Ellen
haven't-
walk.
I think you're just jealous.
I mean, I like Billy's tan better than yours. You look
Well,
like
I
you've
mean,
been,
come on. Come on.
Is
You've
Billy
known me
sipping
long
on a
enough.
pina colada?
Yeah,
What is that?
that's what we're having.
Pina coladas?
baby. Yeah,
I don't
it's only
drink
9:30.
9:30.
Mm-hmm.
Crying out loud.
Yeah,
This
5
is
o'clock
this is
somewhere,
this
right?
is a weird thing. This is like two podcasts coming together at the same fucking time.
I mean, we have another podcast host over here too.
Yeah.
Mac of the Macadoo program. So look at that.
All right. Well, you made your fucking point. Are you all done? You want to go get fucking sauced?
Yeah,
All
no,
right.
I'm probably done. But,
All right, well,
I think
go
you
get
guys,
lubed up.
I want to hear more about Hit Row, so that's my request. All right.
Okay. All right.
Doc, give him the business. You know what to do.
I'll give him the business.
Peace out, Girl Scout. Oh my God. I cannot believe he fucking did that.
That was the most homoerotic, Jobber Knocker episode ever.
Well, yeah, considering that there was the most skin I've ever seen in a Jobber Knocker. Jesus Christ. I can't believe he actually did that.
It was like Top Gun
Unfucking
out there, just
Oh my
dudes,
God.
high-fiving, having a good time.
Jesus Christ. But it is what it is. A lot of people can't believe we fucking did that. There's a lot of emojis in our chat right now.
Highest rated episode ever.
Yeah, exactly. Highest rated. We're gonna clip off that. But anyway, let's get back to the Hit Row thing. I agree with you. Hit Row's great with the entrance. I fast forward entrances, but I saw that I had to stop, rewind, and watch it because I was like, okay, cool. I'm wondering how Swerve feels, right? Because to me, Swerve and NXT with Hit Row was a whole thing. The three of them together, there is a ceiling. I don't know if Top Dollar becomes the with the A becomes the main attraction. I don't know.
I think so.
BFAB is more of a manager. If she wrestles, great, but I feel like when I remember her being on, they said she was super green and didn't have any wrestling experience.
Yeah.
And Adonis is great, but
Yeah, I mean, Top Dolly, I mean, he was the one that was featured the most in that match. And he was, quite nimble right out there, last night. So I thought that was great. I mean, jobber alert, squash match.
Yes.
But the end there, when they did the reintroduction to who they are, that was cringe as fuck. That was tough.
I don't disagree with you because I mean, first off, we'll do the jobber alert for Brandon Scott and Trevor Urban, which they did a great job. But it's like you're a jobber match and these guys were kind of there. But it's hard. Like how would you have wanted it to end if you think it's cringe? What would you have changed at the end of that? Would you?
I just wouldn't have had them do. Yeah,
Okay.
Just have them win. I mean, people know who they are.
Well, so
right?
I think,
or
but
you do a promo.
But do people know who they are? I mean, that's a fair question to ask here. You say they know who they
True.
are, but they're reintroducing since October. So like, I guess they have to do something, right? They have to do something.
I would have had to come out because they got a huge pop.
Right.
Have them come out, do their thing, and then go and then do a backstage segment, slap, high five and some, or I don't know, like you could have done something else like that. Or just scripted the reintroduction better. It was just awkward. It just didn't feel right. I don't know. I think they could have just done that a better way. Like I was thinking about that. Like I probably would have had them win, all stand in the ring, and then do a, interview with whatever, that, British guy's name is or whoever. And they could have done something like that, had their names underneath, who knows, but yeah.
I will say this much. And I, now that you say this, you got me in my head a little bit thinking about it. They don't know how to pause to the crowd, right? Like they don't know how to have that interaction. It doesn't seem like on a bigger stage. On NXT, they were having a smaller group. People would stop, people would chant their things. This was like, they were saying stuff and they're like, money, 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 money. But like nobody could hear it because the crowd was just like,
right.
Whatever. So when you can get to that point where you can command respect, like, oh, we're going to stop talking here and listen, then I think maybe this is when it's going to take off. But Hit Row, obviously a good thing because we need more tag teams.
Yeah.
B-Fab to me is like, to me, she's somebody that you can definitely use in different situations. So I'm excited. I think a heel Hit Row would be way better than a babyface Hit Row, but that's just
I agree. And it could go that way depending on how, B-Fab is utilized and, dirty, dirty tricks here and there to get them wins and whatnot. But again, big
Poppy. So is there anything else that you got super excited for? I'm curious what your super shines were before we get
are we bouncing around? Are we sticking here? I mean,
you can do whatever you want.
I love the Gunther Nakamura match.
Okay.
Right. Fucking, that was just two fucking heavyweights just beating the piss out of each other. And again, I knew it wasn't going to happen, but there was a moment where I felt like maybe Nakamura is going to win this. Right? Maybe are they going to take the belt off Gunther? No, but there's a chance. And now they're setting up for what could be another, another fight down the line where maybe Shinsuke does win it. But that match was fucking awesome.
I have a problem with Nakamura being kind of like misused like a tissue. You know what I mean? Yeah. When I watch him, I'm like, I love him, but there's always a but, right? There's always a big but. But it's hard for me to watch Nakamura because I loved him so much in New Japan, and he came to NXT, did a great job. They got to the main roster, they flushed him down the toilet. Yeah. They're reinventing him in a little bit of kind of like whatever. But what exactly, like, to me, Gunther is like, he's not fucking losing that thing for a year. Like he's just going to fucking, slapping people fucking across like everything. And again, I love it. The crowd's invested in it because they invested in Nakamura. And of course, it's a good fucking match. Like everybody wins when it's a good fucking match. It's a good time. I marked out more for the Intercontinental package, like the video package. And I'm like, okay, great. Not only was the United States Championship, it was the IC Championship as well. And that to me made me go, okay, I feel a little bit better about the Tribal Cuck when we have packages like this, when championships are in the main event of these shows. That's where I get okay with it, but I still want two different titles on, the big titles on. And that's the part that sucks.
Yeah, because it has been held. Same thing with the tag belts. They've been held hostage for the bloodline. They stink. It's like it's run its course and then some. But yeah, I mean, I've always been a big Nakamura fan. I think the match for me was always the NXT takeover. I think in Dallas between Shinsuke and Sami Zayn. That's one of the better wrestling matches I can just ever remember watching. So I love when he's in the ring, and I love this like little like they tried to interview him, and he just sort of said like one thing, and he's got that dumb look on his face, which always fucking cracks me up. But he go out there, and he
does this thing with a mouth guard too, where he's just like
yeah. And it's just, I don't know, they just beat the piss out of each other. And I loved it, because, Gunther hits hard, Shinsuke hits hard. Yeah. And it was just a great back and forth. And I hope that this leads to, them fighting again, whether it's, what's the next big pay-per-view?
The Castle one would be cool, but
the Castle, but that
Extreme Rules I think might be next in Philly, which would be Philly will eat that shit up too.
Yeah, it would be absolutely fantastic. And so like what we're seeing with Gunther now is sort of what we had with Rusev when he had the US belt, right? Just that character you hate, right? Yes. And he's just, it's brilliant.
I'm sorry, we have a lot of people in the comments asking Doc's thoughts about Veer coming back and finally getting another monster squash match. Then I hear, get him off my TV, get him off my TV. Yeah. You don't like him? You don't
get
like
him off my TV.
Oh my God.
Out of here. Vamonos!
Why? Why would you hate Veer?
I don't know. It was just he came out. There was a dumb squash match. I think I wrote in my notes. What was the fucking point of this? Go next match.
You don't like so hold on. And again,
admittedly, I'm not. I don't know really enough about. It was my first time really seeing.
Okay,
Veer,
so first off, our boy Aaron says I forgot Veer was a thing when he came out. Oh yeah, he was a thing. So look, I don't disagree, Aaron. I forgot about him too. But here's my thing. I'm always liking getting somebody that isn't necessarily, to me, a prototypical guy, right? And I appreciate his background in the MLB. So like, he's got $1 million arm. He's a professional athlete. He comes to WWE. He uses that clothesline, like the whole fucking thing. Like, I love it. But I think Veer, fuck off. Come on.
Adios.
Come on. Why does everybody hate Veer? You guys. I cannot believe that I am one-sided. Where's Ray? Where's JC?
I was rooting for Bo Killer, aka Nestlemania, more than I was for Veer.
What?
That guy looked just like you, by the way.
Was he really?
Oh yeah.
Because of the dumbass face, or was it like
dumbass face, skinny body, jobber out there? Just getting fucking smushed by Veer behind. That match was too long. Squash. He should have just.
It wasn't. How can you say it was too long? It was under 3 minutes. What is wrong with you?
It should have been under 30 seconds.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
You know what? It's his fucking fault. Honestly, it's Bo's fucking fault, because here's the issue. He ran out the fucking ropes to try to fucking milk his time like a fucking asshole. That's what his problem was. He would be in my heat. Fuck Bo Keller. I don't know who the fuck he is.
Look him up. God. AKA Nestlemania.
No. I would
put you two next to each other. It'd be a great tag team.
I'm telling you right now, I will.
Manager.
No, fuck you. No. I cannot believe you compared me to Bo fucking Keller. I don't even know who he is. I'm sure he's a wrestler. I'm sure he's great. That guy was like 6'5". I'm like 5'9".
Yeah. You'd be the Gilbert in that group then.
Listen, I would know how to put over Veer in a way that you would want to watch him.
Would you now?
Oh yeah.
How would you put him over?
I would put.
I want to hear this.
Here's if I was in the ring with Veer. First off, what I would do is wear white trunks, right? And I would let him
wear white. They'll see you shit your pants.
Hold on. Here's the kicker. I would let him beat the shit out of me, legitimately. And then as he's fucking camel clutching me, I would trigger something, or maybe I would just let something squeak out and then have a brown turd on it. So then it's just like, he fucking beats the shit out of me, literally and figuratively. And crowds would be like, holy shit, that guy shit his pants. Hilarious. Oh my God, Veer's a big fucking deal. So you know what? There you go. I would take Veer seriously if he
that might work at the Malden VFW. It ain't gonna work at the big time, Chief.
Oh, come on. You would have loved it. You would have fucking loved it. Anyway, Bertsky says this is the new fun Triple H running WWE. It seems like, oh yeah, there's that failed Vince project again, that he wasn't a lumberjack a few years ago, alleged monster. Look, I will tell you much, Bert. I love Veer. I think you guys all need to fucking chill. Here's the thing. Was Braun Strowman fucking good right out of the gate? No, he had like 7 fucking matches to his name, right? Veer probably is the same way. Now, Veer's not going to be flipping ambulances and fucking, fucking metal shit and whatever to look cool. But here's the thing. Veer's going to be good for the international market. The international, specifically India, 7 billion people. Like, they're going to tune in and be like, that's our fucking guy. That's us. So they need to make room for him so that people in India can enjoy him. And I just love the lion roar in the eyes. Like I get tickled pink when I just see those like roar and here comes Veer. And then he beats a fucking, like, I love jobber matches too. So you know what? Fucking bring it on. Let's go.
Nestle, big cat guy.
Big cat guy. I actually am. I'm a cat guy. Absolutely.
Of course. Makes sense. Cats are assholes. All right.
Whoa.
It's all coming together now.
Whoa. You don't like cats?
I do not like cats. My daughter does. We will be a cat household soon. As you know, a father of children, you know that you run nothing in your own house.
I'll tell you this much. I hope that cat fucking pisses on your head in your sleep. Like I hope your fucking
That's
litter
what a
box.
cat would fucking do. Because cats are assholes.
Yeah, cat. I hope a cat fucking scratches your favorite seat and your couch, whatever. I fucking hope that cat I hope that cat lives. I want to live vicariously through your cat because I want to be your fucking cat. I would piss all over your fucking house. That's what I would fucking do. Yeah, I would. Moving on. Anything else? You want to do some quick shines, or you got anything else you really want to make sure we hit before we move on?
I think the tag tournament has been fantastic. I loved Raquel. She stole the show between Aaliyah, Shotzi, and Lee. I thought they're trying to really make her be, elevate her, I think, singularly in the women's division. But I just thought all the wrestling in that was really great.
I don't agree with you at all, because I think this tag team tournament is so weak. Like, I look at it like it's hodgepodge, hodgepodge, hodgepodge. Oh, real tag team hodgepodge. What the fuck am I watching?
Well,
and so
it's setting up. It's Sky Kai versus. It's going to be Sky Kai versus. I mean, whoever wins that
it's gonna be
next
Natty
match.
and Sonya. Like,
Oh,
Natty
if
and
it's
Sonya.
well, then fuck
there you
that.
go.
That's gonna be
Right?
fucking terrible.
Are you gonna tell me that? Look at the fucking bracket. One side SmackDown. This blew my mind, by the way. SmackDown is one side. The other side is Raw. It's either gonna be fucking Sky Kai versus, I think, your girl Raquel and Aaliyah, or flip flop. It's gonna be Bliss and Asuka versus Natty and Sonya, which to me is like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, what are we doing?
Well, I mean, one of those two teams is winning, Asuka and Bliss or Sky Kai. I mean, obviously it's going to be Sky Kai. You bring those two back, you put them in this tournament, they're going to win it. And I love watching them wrestle. I loved watching Asuka and Bliss wrestle. I thought they were a really, really good team. Fucking Dewdrop and get her the fuck off my TV. But like I said, I through this, even though they're not going to win it, I like seeing the rise of Raquel here, and also Shotzi and Lee. Like, they're starting to highlight some more of these women, and they're doing it through the tag team terms, so they're getting a lot of TV time, which they might not have gotten otherwise. And I think we're going to end up with a really awesome little stable here with Bailey going. I'm assuming going for going for the SmackDown title, whatever fucking show she's on.
She's on Raw, bud. She's on
Raw.
Raw.
Thank you. I'm 40. I'm old. And then you're gonna, and then Sky Kai with the title belts, and now we're gonna get sort of like maybe a female bloodline kind of thing. Hopefully, which won't last as long. But I like that. It's building something there. I'm enjoying it.
All right. So I have to just say, I'm not gonna put every comment in here, but a lot of people are saying, "Come on, Doc. Come on, Doc." Especially Lefty and Bert. What is this for?
Bert puts A1 sauce on his overcooked steak. You can't take his takes for real. This kid stinks.
I do want to point out something that I definitely forgot. Thank you, Aaron, for bringing it back to my attention. The small interaction between Ronda and Shayna. I did appreciate that. That was something in my notes that I definitely was going to miss. So thank you for bringing that up. I love the fact that Ronda, fucking dumped out the fucking money and was like, "I'm bad. It's expensive. Being a badass, yada, yada, yada." I laughed. I love that.
There was a great fucking line in there too.
And then of course, they cross paths, and it's like, that's not how you do it back here. And then, like, that's the thing that bothered me a little bit, was like, Shayna was the voice of reason for a second, and it was like, you used to be a fucking killer. And then of course she fucking killed her. And I was like, there we go. We go. Live with a fucking sling. Look at, like, here's the other thing too. Like, I can't decide what I'm supposed to do with Liv Morgan. Like, well, I got a ton of shit for this, but she's in an arm sling, but okay, I'm supposed to cheer for her. But then, like, she's not the underdog anymore. She's fucking beating up people with one arm. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do?
I hate to fucking say you're right.
Oh, say it again in slow motion this time.
It hurts so bad. Because, like, everything that you said was going to happen with Liz when she tapped.
Yeah.
It's come to fruition. So now that you've got a superstar who you've wanted to be champion for so long, now looks weak. But this segment was, the bootleg Ronda Rousey comment also killed me.
Yeah.
But you've got Baszler just sort of tearing into Liv Morgan. So now you're making her look weak, but then she pulls off that bulldog, puts her through the table. So now you're building something here where, maybe she's not the strongest of champions, but she's scrappy. She's plucky. She's gonna find that way to win. So even though she's got the title, she's still somehow the underdog, which people like.
I can't fucking buy it. Like, that's the problem. I can't buy it at all. And so I just want to put out Lefty here, putting out that Doc once said that he'd let Liv fart on his Did you actually say that?
I did not actually say that.
I believe Lefty. I
wouldn't say no.
No, of course not. You're not dumb. But no, it's just, but here's the thing. I think Liv is hard to really choose a side here. Like, you're kind of like, you're waiting. You're like, you don't care. You're not invested in it. You're just like, what the fuck? Like, what happened?
Yeah, I just have the feeling her reign's not going to be all that long.
Yeah.
I think it's like, here you go, kid. You've worked hard for this. It's a placeholder until we can get, either Sasha back or, we build up so and so, and then, she may have it for, another month or two, and then,
Sure.
the reign of Morgan is over. But, they're trying, like I said, I think they're just really trying to create that underdog champion that has always kind of been her character. And I mean, I love seeing her as champ, but I just don't see it lasting long.
All right, cool. Anything else you want to do some heaty stuff?
Yeah, let's do some
Let's
heaty
get him
stuff.
off my TV. Let's do this bullshit right now. Let's do some fun stuff. I will say very quickly that it was odd to me that like Karrion Kross was backstage doing a fucking promo, and then it was just like Scarlett comes out and does nothing, and it's just like tell them that it's just like I'm the messenger. It's like what? Like
Yeah,
that was a fault. Like I didn't like it. I was just sitting there like he did a great job like stalking him in the background and like talking about the chosen one and all that bullshit, but Mac covered so well on Monday with like how faulty that argument was, where it's just like a chosen one, yeah, 15 years ago maybe, but I had to fucking work my ass, and I was like, okay, at least they addressed the faulty argument, because I was just like, is he lurking? Is he gonna cost Mac at the castle? Is he gonna just cost both of them the match and be like thrown out and then people fucking boo? Because I can see that happening too, where like Karrion Kross interjects himself in fucking at the castle, and then both men are down, and Theory comes in and cashes in. So it's like nobody fucking wins. And then Theory gets booed out of the fucking building. I can see that happening too. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, this promo was terrible. I think I wrote down less talking, more stalking. Right?
Yeah.
I love Karrion Kross, and thank God for Scarlett, because I love her. But like, I think Cross's greatest strength now is going to be that sort of just menacing character in the background, whether he just like shows it, like, the classic thing where the match ends, his music hits, he's just standing at the top of the ramp, and then, or you kind of see him lurking in the crowd or doing something, like, that's what I want to see from Kross until he finally, gets into a match, with McIntyre. I think where they utilize Scarlett the best is what we saw a little bit earlier. The things where like she comes down, her music plays, she has that entrance, and then she puts the hourglass down, shit like that. Like, that stuff is effective without having to listen to either of them talk, which isn't their strong suit. And I mean, the feeling I get here is that, unfortunately, McIntyre is not going to win, right? But then you're going to have this feud between McIntyre and Kross, and whichever one of those guys, wins that feud will be the one that eventually goes on to take down Reigns.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
That's the feeling I'm getting.
Right. No, and you're probably not wrong. I'm looking at it like it's such a clunker. Like, it's just so like we're going to get to a good spot. It's just like, how do we get there? And I'm more of I like the journey more than the destination kind of thing. So like when I'm not on the ride, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not there, then I'm just watching it going, fuck, I know I'm going to enjoy the ending of this, but getting there is going to be like fucking pulling teeth.
It needs to be more cryptic.
Yeah.
Is what it needs to be, right? Just that ominous, Kross lurking in the background, and I think that's where, because he got a huge pop when he came back. You don't want to lose that. You don't want to overuse it either. So you got to kind of pick your spots, and maybe it costs McIntyre's match. Who knows? But like, that promo was tough.
I'll move on very quickly to something else. I wanted to get your thoughts on the Judgment Day, because I'm confused. Like, I'm excited that the Judgment Day had a good fucking promo. Like, great. Then like, here's what I'm confused about, and maybe you can tell me, because it's always interesting to see someone else. Like, I consider you like not a hardcore fan, so I'm curious how you see this. Mysterio not being able to put his hands on Rhea, yet Rhea puts her hands on Dominic and everybody else. Like, I get it. Like, a babyface doesn't put his hands on a woman. I understand that completely. But like, Rhea Ripley is not a normal person. So
no.
It's like she went from what someone said to like, have sex with me, daddy, to calling me daddy. Like, literally, like, that's what she looks like now. And like, it's just hard for me where like if I look at her, I'm just like, yeah, I would believe her in a mixed match, like intergender match. I would believe it. I would absolutely believe it that she could pull it off. But
yeah, I thought that was lame as shit. And from a storytelling point of view, like, if you're Dominic, I'd be like, fuck you, like, Pops, like, you don't got my back. You know what I mean? Like he's making, Dominic look even worse, by not defending him. It's like, okay, you don't want to put your hands on a woman, but you also don't love your son enough that you're going to defend his honor either. Right. Like it's this weird thing. I remember just watching that going, oh, this is kind of dumb. Just, you don't have to like open hand slap her or smack her or something like that. But, you can, put her in some sort of submission that doesn't, look terribly violent or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it was tough.
I look at it from what you just said, and I think Rey Mysterio has the perfect moveset to do something to somebody accidentally, or like you don't think it's violent, right? So like Rhea Ripley could take a hit from Rey, and you'd go like, she fucking earned that one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that, and that's what I look at when I'm like, and maybe we're gonna get there. Like, to me, I'm thinking we're gonna get to fucking the Judgment Day versus fucking Edge, Beth Phoenix, and Rey Mysterio, which I'm not necessarily excited about because that means a fucking 14-minute promo by Edge, a fucking 8-minute promo by the Judgment Day going, and then like, we get to the match and I hit 6-person tag, 6-man, women, doesn't matter. I don't discriminate. I hate it all. I fucking hate it all. But like, it never excites me. And I don't know, like, unless we're going to get some intergender matches in WWE, which I think obvious reasons they've been, holding back on it, but there are some legit women who can hang better than the men. Let's fucking see it. Let's fucking 100%. See it. Like Charlotte Flair fucking can go. Let's let's see her go against a fucking guy that she can take out. Let's do it. Like
Becky Lynch in the heat of her The Man, run could have, could still do it now, right? Her and Rollins, right? You could do something. I mean, I feel like they talked about this a couple years ago where they said they were going to, do it a little bit more and then just nothing. But the Judgment Day in general, they've got to change their look somehow. Them all coming out in suits, I thought was like dumb. You called the Judgment Day. Give me something a little bit more menacing. But like for this stable to, I think, go to the next level, you got to put a belt on one of them. And I think it's got to be Rhea, to be honest with you. You could put the woman's belt on her, and then maybe you get the tag belts on the other guys, or maybe one of them ends up getting Intercontinental or US or whatever. But like the obvious thing there is put the belt on Rhea, give them some juice, make them a little bit more menacing. And but yeah, that was, I don't know. I did not like, it seemed overly silly to me. Just like, Mysterio just kept doing this.
Right. And again, like you see Red you get it. You're a dad. Like you see Red, if somebody had hit your kid or did like, you would just lose it. Right.
Someone hits my kid, I'm putting him in a chipper shredder feet first on slow.
Right. Exactly. Like, and I agree. Like if I ever saw that, I would yank the kid and be like, whatever, like I'm the dad. I'm going to make sure you don't ever touch my children again. So like from a father standpoint too, you're looking at it like fucking do something. And of course, Bertsky over here is saying, who I'm calling out, Aaliyah Mysterio, to get help for her family. Ate a slap, a couple weeks ago. No rebuttal. Look, I don't want to see her on my television because she's not a good actor. She's just not. She's a bad actress. And honestly, she did her best with Buddy when she was playing tonsil hockey. So you know what? That's a thing. But again, you could call back to it because she's apparently, Rhea's with Buddy, but you can't really talk about that too much. But it's an odd situation where I feel like Mysterio was like, here's Veer. Here's fucking the Mysterio. Here's Miz and Logan Paul. Now this is the situation with the Judgment Day. And it's just, unless Edge goes back to the Judgment Day, Edge needs to go back to them because I don't give a fuck about Edge. Like I really don't. I love Edge, but I feel like I'm done with babyface Edge. I do like if he's only got 2 years left, give me the rated R, give me the shithead, give me the guy who's like just menacing. Give me that.
Put a belt on him. Let him run it for a bit. Yeah. I agree with you 100%.
I don't know. Finn having the Raw title within a year or two. I don't know.
I loved it.
He has a better shot now. He has a better shot now. Finn,
but it's all gonna hinge on what they do in the next few months with the unification of those belts. They got to split them up somehow.
I will say right now, I don't expect the Judgment Day to be a thing in 6 months. I really don't. I think it's going to be done. I think it's a nice experiment because I like factions. Factions are cool, but it's like they're non-committal. They're not committal at all with this. Like to me, if for a faction to take over, you have to be dominant in some form. You have.
They got to get gold on them.
Yeah. And if it's not gold, like have definitive victories. It's like back and forth with the Mysterios for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. And we'll go to this part, which I am not excited about at all, with Priest and Edge. And I expect this to main event. in Toronto because they're making a big deal about it being 9 years or whatever. I'm sure it'll be a good match. But again, I'm not going to, I mean, maybe I'll come on the next program next week and say like, oh, I was 100% wrong. But on paper, on a graphic, I'm looking at it going, Priest versus Edge. Okay, great.
Yeah.
You know?
It's essentially Edge versus insert anyone here because
Right.
that's all the people care about is Edge, especially in Toronto. It could be Edge versus, Bo Killer,
You're going to call me Bo? Might as well Photoshop my face on Bo. That's what
I'm working on it. Don't
I'm
worry.
sure. Yeah, you do it in your free time, and I'm sure you have, because like me, I don't have any freaking free time at all. I am curious very quickly before we move on, how you feel about Dexter Lumis. I'm curious with that whole thing. Well, the fire, they're putting out a fire backstage earlier when Mac was walking by. I assume that's Dexter. Dexter got arrested during the, I think it was the segment for the United States Championship, which we didn't really talk about with Edge and AJ and Lashley. But there was a lot going on here with that Dexter stuff.
Yeah, I mean, this is the stuff I think we all love, right? Because it's little things here and there, right? He's not talking, he's not, doing, it's just there's this sort of cryptic, mysterious sort of thing going on. You don't know what's going on, you don't know what he's about, and it's building towards something. And I think that's what we love. It was sort of like, when Y2J came into the WWE, right? You just got the clock and it was just counting down until it finally came. So like this, we're getting these like little things. We have no idea where the hell it's going. And then when we finally find out, what it's all about, what he's going to be all about, I think it's going to be a huge pop and very exciting.
Okay. I'm curious to see where this goes. Cause like, I like the idea of Dexter, but I'm also very just kind of like, what, like, I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm not excited for the actual in-ring stuff. So I'm hoping that he limits the in-ring stuff. Somebody's saying, okay, it's the way, like the way will go against the bloodline. Like, okay, like Gargano is going to take a backseat to Theory. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't see that fucking happening. Like if Johnny Gargano's coming back, he's coming back for that fucking WrestleMania moment. That's what he's going to do.
100%.
But
100%.
It's just hard. It's just fucking hard. And I don't know specifically what's going to happen, but like, it's nice that he kind of like breaks up things a little bit. Like, oh, he's a commercial break guy or like something happens, but there's a shelf life with specifically with him. And I'm just like, he's great for variety. Like he'll get those intriguing storylines. Like if the Fiend comes back, the Fiend versus Dexter, that will intrigue me. Cause then it's just like, he could be a sympathetic figure, but I'm just curious to see how high his ceiling is.
Well, I think it's all going to be in this build that they do here, right? And how they continue it. If it feels like a bridge to nowhere, it's going to fall flat, then it's going to be like, okay, this was fucking nothing. But if they keep finding interesting ways to, get him to, interact or, whatever it is they do, I think there's a road where they can bring him back and, you're like, okay, this works. I like it. Let's keep going with it. But if it's just a bunch of nonsense again and it ends up being the same old Loomis, then you're 100% right. So I think it's just all how things are going to play out in the coming weeks and picking and choosing their spots. And, are they doing enough to keep it intriguing and mysterious?
I can't believe you said you said I was right twice. I may have to let you co-host more often. JC is going to be sitting there going, "Get him! What do you mean you're agreeing with him? Get him!" So
that was his advice to me. He said, "Just disagree with everything he says."
But I'm right. That's the thing. I'm right. I'm right a lot of the time. So here's what it is.
Even a clock is right twice a day.
Go fuck yourself. Whatever. All right. So I'm gonna go. Let's get hopeful. Let's watch. There's not a lot of heat stuff, I don't think, unless you want to talk something specifically. We can get hopeful if you want.
Yep.
All right, would you like to go first because you are the guest?
I would like to go first. So I would like to see McIntyre win at Clash of the Castle. And what I'm hoping for is not only does he win, but they're able to find a way where he wins. They split the titles, and Theory cashes in somehow. And now we've got those things on separate people, and the bloodline can just go the fuck away.
Simple. Very to the point.
Very.
I am curious to see what happens. And my hope, I was excited. Of course, I'm a maximum male model. They haven't actually, called me yet to be a maximum male model, but I am a male model.
Oh, they responded to you.
Oh, no, I'm not. I think I am a
No,
male
no,
model.
no, they did. Hold on. I'll
Did they
put it on
really?
Twitter here. Yeah. They responded to you. I'm going to put it on Twitter. Hold on.
What? I didn't see it.
Oh, well, I'm putting it on. I'm tagging you now.
Where was
Right?
it? Why didn't I see this?
Well, because you kind of stink. Hold
What
on.
the hell?
Yeah,
How did?
just be patient with me. I got to scroll through because they sent it back. Was in my spam folder.
Oh, they did. Okay.
Nestlemania, there it goes. Tweeted it out. So, for those that follow at Backcrackah on Twitter, on Twitter, you can see
Twiddle.
they responded back to you and they didn't have such kind words for you, Nestle.
I gotta see this. How come I didn't see this?
Yeah, well,
Did you send it to me? You sent okay.
I sent it, right? I couldn't use it as my background.
Oh, okay.
But I tweeted it out. They responded and they said thanks, but no thanks.
Anyway, now that you've crushed my hopes and dreams with this,
makes for great radio, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody can see what the fuck we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yes. So I will put this up on the screen, but I will put it up right now. I don't know if it'll be backwards. There you go.
Yeah, Nestle stinks. Yeah,
with his beautiful face. So I'm a little bit bummed I haven't heard back from the real people, even though you think I look fucking good, by the way. I look great. I don't know what you're talking about. I think I'm sexy. Anyway, my hope is that the Maximum Male Models had a little bit of a ruffle on SmackDown there with the Los Lotharios, the Heartbreakers, and they were kind of like they were peacocking a little bit and going after Maxine. I personally would love to see Maxine go with Los Lotharios. Then we got a little,
that would be tremendous.
Tag team with Max, tag team with Maxine, and here's the kicker: they all fucking turn on fucking Max, and then he's LA Knight. That's what we fucking, then again, she's got fucking 4 good looking guys and her. It'll fucking look like something from Brazzers and then fucking LA Knight. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we need. That's how you get LA Knight out of here. That's what I want.
Oh, great Brazzers reference.
Yeah. It's the fucking meme with the girl on the couch. That's what it's going to end up.
Yeah, that's fucking tremendous. I don't know why those guys work so well, but they do. It is absolute. It is like, you're watching, waiting for that segment to pop up. You don't know when it's going to pop up, and it fucking kills every time. It is fucking hysterical. And that's a great one. I had to give my hope there succinctly. My child came down and was
that's okay. I appreciate
she needed something, so
that's okay. I appreciate it. You're a great dad. You're an okay co-host, so that's okay.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna need to get my fucking back cracked after carrying your dumbass for what 52 minutes.
So who's a doctor, or I guess a doctor? You're not really like a dentist or a doctor.
I wouldn't call a dentist a doctor either.
Well, whatever. You're a backcracker. Who do you go to? Do you go to somebody else, or do you just like you have somebody walk on you? What do you do?
I work in an office with many fellow chiropractors.
Are they all legit? Did they get their license in like Tijuana? Like, what's going on here?
Oh, we all went to the same school. We found on the back of a Matchbox. It's an online course. You complete it in 12 hours.
You got a fucking macaroni certificate. Yeah,
I do. Pilot made that.
Yeah.
My name's backwards.
Yeah, exactly. That E is backwards in your fucking name. Yeah, exactly. Oh God, no. But anyway, JC said you come highly recommended, so we'll see. I don't know.
He said I'm good at what I do.
Yeah,
both there and here.
Clearly, you might have a third podcast now. Who the fuck knows? Jesus Christ. So I guess we should go back to our comeback. Do you want me to go, or would you like to go?
You go, because mine's kind of lame, but
okay. I'm gonna give my comeback. I cannot believe that I'm gonna fucking do this, but I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna give my comeback to Ronda fucking Rousey. Here's why. All right. I know. Here's my thing. This is the first time in my life, Doc. I'm hand to God. If I had a Bible, I'd put my hand on it. This is the first time where I actually went and thought to myself, I actually want to see what she does next. I actually want to see what happens. And here's why. And again, I have to preface this with why, obviously, but she's being a bitch, which is her wheelhouse. She's being who she is. I like when she comes out and says, $5 words like gumption, I'm like, let's boo this fucking bitch. You know what I mean? Like, but then she comes out, dumps a bunch of money and says, being bad, it's expensive. I'm like, that is something I would say to somebody and they would fucking want to punch me in the face. And I'm okay with it. I want to punch. I can't punch her in the face because I don't hit women, but like she could probably. But like I would hire somebody to try to, but obviously they would run because it's Ronda fucking Rousey. But like, if I said that, you'd punch me in the face. You know what I mean? And like,
I'd punch you in the face anyways.
well, yeah, I have a very punchable face, but then I don't know if you've watched this on social media. She was talking so much shit on the live events on the weekend. I ate it up. I was like, this woman needs to continue to just browbeat people and showboat and just be her, because honestly, that's money. It is money. And like, watching her be a bitch is great television, but watching her beat up our favorites is going to put nuclear heat into her. And I cannot wait. Like, she doesn't need a championship. She is the fucking championship at some points. Like, what she's doing, she's always going to be on the fucking card. You're going to tune in. But like, if she can face somebody and be a bitch and like, you want to fucking see her lose, that's where the money is. You want to see her fucking lose. And then she'll go home and cry that she lost. But like,
facts.
But that to me, I'm looking at it like, I'm not a fan of her. But again, I cannot deny the fact that she is must-see TV every fucking time now.
Well, as a heel, she is much more palatable, to watch. I think what they need to do with her is not give her a script, just give her some bullet points and just sort of let her, I think, be her, right? Again, like you said, be that arrogant, just in your face. I'm better than you. I'm going to kick your ass. Like, give her some bullet points and just kind of let her be. Cause there were some moments, like you said, with the money thing and, being bad, gets expensive, it's great. But then there's moments where she's trying to remember the script or whatever. And it's just still so cringe. But like, there's a thing about her with the way that she kind of carries herself that is badass, and the potential is there. You just gotta hone it and refine it just a little bit more. And she's got to change her fucking attire, because she's got that weird underboob thing going. And I'm usually a big fan of a good underboob, but it's terrible. It's just a terrible look.
Worst underboob in the biz.
Real bad underboob. Terrible underboob. Yeah.
I can't believe we talked about browsers and boobs today. This is great.
Yeah, and JC's up, looking like a fucking, porpoise out there, just slicked down and, hairless, just tits out for the boys. It's, we've had more naked men, than I've ever had on a podcast.
Wrestling.
Yeah.
Wrestling.
Yeah. My comeback, and this is old, but this is my first time on the show, but, just talking about the impact that Triple H has had. He's made Raw and SmackDown and the pay-per-views wildly more entertaining. And we talked about it earlier. We're seeing a lot more tag team, which is great. We're seeing the elevation of some of these stars who were either floundering or were let go, and now they're coming back, sort of, starting to rise up towards the top. And I think we're just getting an overall a more entertaining product. This is the wrestling that I think we love, that we haven't had for so long. And so it's been absolutely huge. And so I can't wait until we're into full fucking WrestleMania season, because I think what Triple H is going to do, from, October on is going to be fucking awesome.
I feel like October is super hard sometimes. Like I'll say December, January is when things sort of pick up, because football just demolishes everything.
True.
You know what I mean? But like, so I'm curious, like, because again, I'm calling you a filthy casual, but I mean, because you have other interests. But would you tune in to something if there's football, or is it like football is like your thing?
No, I will tune in,
Okay.
right? And for me, football is like, I'm wildly irrationally emotional, and so like, if I'm watching a fucking Patriots game and if the first quarter looks like shit, I'm changing the goddamn channel until Twitter tells me to put it back on, right? Like, I love football and I'll have Red Zone on all day, but like, when there's a pay-per-view event, like, I'm switching over to that.
Okay.
Again, unless the Patriots are on Sunday night at 8 and it's a marquee matchup, then I will watch wrestling after the fact.
Yeah.
But I am more than capable of walking and chewing gum at the same time. So I can enjoy both, find a way to enjoy both products equally, at the same time.
And how do you feel about AEW? I am curious. Like, do you casually look at it? Do you see stuff on Twitter? Do you see stuff on YouTube? Like, how big are they on your radar?
Casual. It's second fiddle right now to what's going on. There was a period where I was watching a lot of AEW, and then I kind of fell off. I went to when they were in Boston, over the summer, and that was a fun show to watch. It's just I don't know. I just feel like right now, like since the Triple H thing took over, like they really kind of put AEW in the goddamn dust.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good segue. We'll get into the big old finish here. We'll talk about AEW and what they have to offer here. I'm gonna go to my my tab over here. Hopefully, I still have it open. Let's see if I can get this. Can you see this?
I can see that.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So, oh shit, that is ugly as fuck. Let's try this. Maybe this is better. That might be better. All right. So maybe try this one. Yeah, that's better. Okay. All right.
Less of you. Perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Less of my ugly face, apparently. So, let's see. On All Elite Wrestling on Wednesday, live 8 Eastern, 7 Central. 2 out of 3 falls. Brian Danielson versus Daniel Garcia. How do you feel about that?
Meh.
Really?
I mean, I love Brian Danielson, but I don't know much about his opponent there.
Yeah. So like, here's 2 out of 3 falls. Does that get you excited?
No, I hate the 2 out of 3 falls stuff. Just
why?
give me because you kind of know how it's gonna go. Like
he gets a fall. He gets a fall. All right, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like. Okay, he's gonna win one. Who's gonna get the last? It's gonna be fucking Daniel Bryanson or Brian Danielson, whatever the fuck.
Fucking Brian Danielson,
right? Like
fucking Daniel Bryanson, whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah, like just I'd rather just have one longer, really, really good match than this. Okay, this fall is going to come really quick. This fall is going to come really quick, and then it essentially just comes down to the best of who gets the next pin anyways. Just make it one fucking match. I don't need fucking 2 out of 3.
Right,
it's pointless
because
no one's ever going to win 2 in a row.
But that would surprise the fuck out of you, wouldn't it?
It would, but it's not going to fucking happen because that's not going to keep people in the seats.
All right, no cheeks in the seats, he says. Moving over to the Trios Championship, which would bore the fuck out of me. I don't care about any of this stuff. If it's going to be the Elite, whatever, let's move on. We've got, it says Toni Storm taking on, I think Killer. I can't see this right now. It's a Killer, whatever her name is. What is it? There we go. Yeah, she was trained by Kylie King. Obviously, because I don't know her, she's probably a jobber. I'm going to give it to Toni Storm.
100%,
whatever. Varsity Blondes versus the Gun Club. The Gun Club needs a W, so that's why we're throwing them out there.
Yep. I'd give the Gun Club a win.
If this is what I'm looking at here, I'm not tuning in on Wednesday. That's the way I look at it. Yeah. Like, I'll watch clips. I don't care about any of this.
I might even skip through the Jobber Knocker recap of this.
Oh,
that's how little I'm interested in this.
I mean, you're not excited about the Young Bucks picking probably Kenny Omega or somebody, right? Like that doesn't do anything for you.
No, I mean the Young Bucks are great, but again, like AEW came out harder than the pistol, and when WWE was down, they did a really great job of picking up the slack and giving you exciting stuff. And now, like, they're really missing MJF, big time, right? Oh. And they need him. He's the most exciting guy in wrestling right now, and I think it's falling a little bit flat without him.
I'm speaking of falling flat. When CM Punk came back last week, all I could think about was, is it too soon? Is it because Chicago needs seats to be filled? Like, what are we doing? Like, he comes back way too quick from an injury, and then it's just like, what are we doing here? It's hard. It's hard to watch because I'm a CM Punk guy all the way through, but I watched him very, very closely. You know what I mean? Like, he's not 100%. He's probably not even 80%. And he's supposed to main event a pay-per-view. I would ask for my money back. I mean, that to me, that's me.
And I'm not a big Punk guy. I mean, I popped as like anyone else did when he came back, and his match when he won the belt, it was great. But I was never really a big Punk guy, and I really wasn't watching a ton of wrestling when he was in his prime there with WWE. But just he's another old guy they've got there that I don't really care about.
Bird's asking if you're calling out TK. I mean, I don't know.
Tony Khan. I don't need him on my shit list. That's for sure.
Well, yeah, obviously he'll come after you anyway, and he can. Let's see. Can I share the NXT? We got NXT Heat Wave, folks. Get excited over this. We'll start at the bottom because we're a-holes. We'll start here. All right. So, can you see that? Okay, here we go. So, your boy, Tony D, taking on fucking Escobar for the 100th fucking time. But this time, if he wins, he stays. If he loses, he's gone. It's like Escobar needs to be on the main roster by himself. Yeah. By himself, he's fine. Like, he doesn't need, I agree with our boy Dom. If you need to listen to anything, he's got a great, Dommy boy has a great lead up here, right up for tonight. If you're watching tonight or if on Tuesday, NXT Heatwave. Basically breaking down every match. I think he said he doesn't care about another match. I'll tell you what it is later. But this match to me is interesting. Tony D needs more time in NXT. But Escobar, especially with Triple H, he'll be fine now on the main roster.
Yeah. So yeah, you know what's going to happen. It's predictable.
Now this one, I have obvious reasons to cheer for certain people because I know the man. So Carmelo Hayes taking on Giovanni Vici. The magician, apparently. Everybody's excited about this fucking match. I don't know. Like, do you look at this matchup and you get excited?
I don't know enough. I haven't been watching as much NXT as I should have, so I'm not as familiar with these guys. So I will just simply defer to you. And
Carmelo Hayes is a big deal, but I'm not sold on the Vinci. I mean, he was good. He was getting an Imperium with Walter and everybody else with Ludwig or whatever, but I look at this and like JC loves the gimmick, which again, he comes and he out and he does a smile. They take a photograph of him. He wrestles. He's a good wrestler, but like I'm more like Carmelo Hayes needs to lose his championship and go take it from Braun or get to the main roster eventually. Cause this kid's ready to go. Like he's a big deal. He'll be a Dolph Ziggler-esque kind of kid. He's that talented.
All right.
So keep your eyes peeled on that motherfucker. But let's move on to, this is the one Dom said he couldn't give less of a shit about. Roxanne and Cora Jade, which I thought that was blasphemy personally, because this is the most interesting Cora Jade has been since turning heel on Roxy. Actually, Roxy, is a prodigy, 18, 19, 20 years old, from the AJ Lee and the Booker T kind of thing. Like, she's a big deal. So she's going to be in the WWE for a while. But Cora Jade, she's somebody put on a poster. Like, I look at it like, I'm not a big fan, but at least she's a bitch now, so I can be like, boo this woman, and that's the way I look at it. But I'm curious, if you don't know what's going on, who would you pick?
Cora Jade.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Because why?
Well, because, I want to see, if she's, I want to see, I don't know, you call her a badass, she's turned heel. Give me some of that,
So there's more meat with the babyface chasing against. Okay.
Well, yeah. I mean, someone is, the other girl. She's young. She's green. She's got to earn her stripes.
Okay.
Gotta take a few L's on the way to the top.
Speaking of earning her stripes, we have almost, I think, the fourth longest running NXT Women's Champion, Mandy Rose, always in the shine because she's always everywhere. JC's future ex-wife taking on Zoe Stark. I don't like Zoe Stark, but I don't want to hinder how you feel about the situation.
Oh, Mandy Rose all day, every day. Come on.
Okay.
I'm not going to sit in the man's seat and diss.
His
always
woman.
in the shine,
don't
Mandy
diss
Rose.
his woman. She
I'm not
wished
a
him a birthday a couple of years ago. That's how we got
tremendous. I'm not a fucking idiot, I may look like one, but trust me, I'm not.
You look like a
Mandy
goon.
Rose.
You look like a
I
goon.
look like a goon. Yeah,
You do.
A hired
You do.
goon.
I was told you look like a cartoon character. I won't say which one. Zoe Stark, however, doesn't do it for me in any aspect of life. So I want to get her off my television. If there's somebody that I wouldn't miss, it'd be her. Moving on to the NXT Men's Championship. I'm going to say men's because I think that they both deserve to be equal at this point. Braun Breaker, a.k.a. Cora Jade's new real lover in real life, which has upset a lot of the internet, by the way. I did not know that. Taking on JD McDonough? Yeah, McDonough? I can't do anything Irish related. He looks like Rockstar Spud to me, or Rockstar, whatever the fuck his name is.
He looks like Phil Kessel about 300 hot dogs ago.
Hot dogs. How many hot dogs do you think this guy eats? So look, Braun Breaker's winning this fucking thing. I would be shocked.
Unit.
I would be shocked if JD wins this. I would shave my head in like pure shock. Like I would just be
You heard it here first, folks.
I'm not going to shave my head. Clearly not. I got a family photo coming up. My wife would kill me. But I look at this kid and clearly HBK feels highly on JD. He's a good dude. He's the Irish Age. Not a good dude, but he's a good wrestler. But I look at him and I think the height is an issue. I really do. I mean, they might have put manly flats in him last week at the contract signing or whatever, but I don't know. Like maybe
fucking
a
height is.
second. I'm not a height shamer. I'm 5'9", but do you look at this kid and you think this is the main event, dude? No, he's middle of the road.
No, yeah, he's a mid-carder at best. I mean, dude, fucking look at Breaker. He's a fucking unit. He's gonna go in there and just fucking tear that guy's arms off and beat the shit out of him with it.
He is a Steiner, like to a fucking T.
Oh, gee.
And
he needs to start coming out with the chainmail. It would be awesome.
Oh my God. If he does that, if he starts doing this, in his entrance and fucking coming out with a tiger like fucking Steiner did on Nitro, I'm done. I would lose it. This kid is like just the right amount of Steiner. Like, he's going to fuck up somehow and make you laugh, but he's smart enough to not be Scott Steiner. Like he's just the perfect amount of oof. Like I love it. He's a big oaf and I love it. So that's pretty much NXT Hate Wave. I think I got everybody. I'm curious. Are you going to watch? Probably not, right?
Probably not, but you know what I'll do? I'll hit the record button.
I'll hit the record.
I'll hit the record button, and then if I can find the time, I will put it on and fast forward through a couple matches. I'll put it on and go straight to fucking Braun.
Right. So you're excited to see him on the main roster, right?
That would, yes, very much so.
Okay.
I think he would. I think he would do well. Could you imagine him and Lashley fucking going at it for the fucking US title? Two fucking units just beating the piss out of each other.
When you say units, I just think like giant members. When you say units, like two giant penises going at it, like whatever.
Just two men just fucking going at it.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm curious. Is there anything else you want to do before we wrap up the show?
No. I mean, thank you for having me on, and I can't wait to whoop your dumb ass in golf in a couple weeks.
Oh, I heard that this is a real thing. My wife was like, "Aren't you gonna?" I was like, "Yeah, we're gonna finally meet in person." We may have to take video of this. I was told by JC to not be on my best behavior because this needs to be a thing. So we'll see how it goes. I was told that you're moderately good, so we'll find out how we measure up in the golf world. So
JC didn't have nice things to say about your golf game.
That's because I don't play. I'm just saying, it is what it is. And JC doesn't have anything nice to say at all about me. We've known each other for so many years, so he can go suck an egg for all I care about. Like that guy, like he's in a pool right now, looking like you said, Shamu. I mean, come on, come on.
I didn't say Shamu.
You called him a whale.
I called him slick like a porpoise is like a dolphin, not a whale.
Oh, okay. Well, he left the dolphin then. All right. On that note. Jesus Christ, this has been an experience. I'll say that much. An experience. That's right. I appreciate. So, Doc, it's you heard it both ways podcast, as well as I believe the
TLDR.
Right there. There you go. TLDR podcast. And everything in the I think is the Dork universe. I'm sorry, I'm not
Dorkshire universe.
Dorkshire universe. Okay.
Yeah.
They do a great job over there. Make sure to check those guys out. And of course, thank you, Doc, for subbing in for a man that is probably floating right now.
I mean, you've only been begging me to come on for the past 4 weeks, so I had to say yes one of these times.
Oh, now you're going to make me look bad. All right. On that note, thank you for listening to the Jobber Knocker, and we will be back. Well, JC hopefully will be back next week with more Jobber Knockery.